obfuscation and pure power politics, no matter the cost.
Yeah, because if words didn't matter, Steve, then why would we had an impeachment in the first place, right? Like, that is exactly why they wanted to impeach Donald Trump, because they said that his words mattered. And now to say my words don't matter is a complete cop-out there. But now I want to bring in legal analyst Thane Rosenbaum. Thane, thanks for being here with us.
Thank you, Lindsay.
All right, want to get your initial reaction on the verdict.
Well, I'm not surprised. If they were only going to stay out for 10 hours, a guilty verdict was predicted. The question is, would it have been on all three counts? And because they were only out for 10 hours, we got pretty much what I would have expected. Clearly, this jury got along with each other. They bonded with each other. Usually, if a jury has hostility or infighting, or 2 or 3 hostile jurors that they have to convince. Here, they came in and they were sort of united, apparently, from the beginning. On the other hand, they're members of the community in Minneapolis, and there have been so much outside influences, civil unrest. You just pointed about the Congresswoman, the President of the United States tonight, earlier weighed in by saying he's expecting a guilty verdict. And so that is problematic, because the jury system is set up to have a purity, pristine, no outside influences. But like the civil judgment for $27 million, the jury knew about that too. And that must have, in some ways, might have had an effect on them. That doesn't mean that the verdict was wrong. It just means that this jury may have been influenced by more than just the evidence presented at the court.
Sure. Shane, given that reality, given the circumstances of this jury, and you're right, the potential outside influences, it seems to me that either this jury should have been sequestered the entire time, not just during deliberations, or there should have been a change of venue. This trial, to be fair, should not have happened in the Twin Cities. I'd like your thoughts, though, as a legal analyst on those points.
Sean, absolutely correct. The defense attorney immediately sought a change of venue. He said, how am I going to get a fair trial in the birthplace of the Black Lives Matter movement? It all really started last summer with the George Floyd death. So, in light of that, that the judge rejected that. And then, of course, there was the civil suit. And after the civil suit, the settlement of $27 million, he tried it again to seek a sequestering of the jury. So the change of venue was rejected and the sequestration was rejected. And because of that, Sean, as you quite correctly pointed out, the jury was like us. They were just like us. They were watching this all play out on cable news at night.
We talked to Alan Dershowitz earlier, who said that this likely will go into an appeal process, but that won't happen for quite some time. And so what does that mean for the jury? Do they have any other part to play, or are they essentially done?
They're gone. I don't know whether they're going to get a book deal or something, but they're gone. Now the appellate process will begin. There will be a number of items on that appeal process. Sean has picked up on one immediately, just the change of venue, rejected that motion. And the outside influences. In my years, frankly, I've never seen a case that had so much outside influences. How about this? 4 days before the jury deliberated, there was another shooting of an unarmed black man by a police person that resulted in 4 days of civil unrest. The jury saw that. You live in this town, right? How are you going to be able to explain to your neighbors that you wanted to acquit Chauvin on any of these counts? And remember, Maxine Waters was insisting that it would be first-degree murder, but that wasn't even the charge, right? That they couldn't come back with first-degree murder because that would have been overcharged. It was only second-degree and third-degree murder. So I think there was pressure, of course, on the jury. They may have been correct on all counts, but I can't believe that they didn't feel the sense of pressure as members of this community, knowing that neighbors of theirs may be protesting outside.
Yeah. It's such an interesting situation to be a juror in this specific trial because it was so public and because we've been following it for so long. Even though the trial hasn't been that long, the process has been long, and seeking justice in that city for George Floyd. Thane, thanks for being here with us.
Anytime.
All right. Stay with us for continued coverage of the fallout of the Derek Chauvin guilty verdict. Don't go away.